Hello, sports fans. It is Monday, September the 15th, the year 2014. And as always, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Great to be back with you guys. Hope you had a nice weekend. Let's recap what went on the last few days in the sports world. Let's start in the NFL. Let's start up in Buffalo, where the Buffalo Bills plastered the Miami Dolphins 29-10. Bills up to 2-0. Miami down to 1-1. I'll tell you, maybe Buffalo is better than everyone thought. They had the big road win in Chicago last week. They come back home and they beat Miami. Really nice job by the Bills. This game was close late in the third quarter. It's 16-10, but then from there, the Bills just totally controlled the game. Miami, 2 turnovers. Buffalo had 4 sacks. All Buffalo in the fourth quarter. Really, really nice job by the Bills. The fans were flying up in Buffalo yesterday. They were really loud. Good to see Buffalo playing some good football. I still think Miami is going to be a decent team, but it was all Buffalo in the fourth quarter yesterday. The Bills pull away and win 29-10. Let's go to Washington, where the Washington Redskins just bombed the Jacksonville Jaguars 41-10. Washington up to 1-1. Jacksonville down to 0-2. RG3 hurt again, could be done for the season. Cousins comes in, he plays very well. Jackson also hurt for Washington, he may play next week. This game was all Redskins. This game was over early. Jacksonville looks like they're in midseason form already. They look like they could be a total dog again. I mean, remember, Jacksonville last week had a 17-0 lead at the half against the Eagles. They end up getting blown out in the second half of that game, and then they get blown out here by the Redskins. So Jacksonville looks like it could be another long, awful season for the Jaguars. Nice job by the Redskins getting the win. Cousins is a good quarterback. I mean, I know RG3 could be out for the year, but Cousins is a good quarterback, so we'll see what the Redskins do from here. Let's go to Tennessee, where the Dallas Cowboys just laid on the Tennessee Titans 26-10. Dallas up to 1-1. Tennessee down to 1-1. I'll tell you, I was surprised by this game. I didn't think Dallas could stop anyone. I mean, from what I saw from their defense last week, I didn't think Dallas could stop anyone. They did a really nice job in this game on both sides of the ball. They're up 16-0 at the half, Dallas. Tennessee cuts it to 16-10, but then Dallas pulls away late in the game. Dallas, 220 yards on the ground. Really nice road performance by the Cowboys. Good ground attack. They stayed away from the turnovers. And Tennessee looked dreadful yesterday. As good as Tennessee looked last week, they looked just as bad this week. Dallas gets the win. Let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Not too far from here, where the Arizona Cardinals beat the New York Giants 25-14. Arizona up to 2-0. The Giants down to 0-2. Let me take it from the Arizona standpoint first. First of all, Palmer didn't play in this game. I was really surprised about that. Stanton came in. Stanton did a nice job. He avoided the big turnovers. Again, had the big 71-yard punt return. That really turned the game around. The Giants, 4 more turnovers. Eli, 2 more interceptions. The Giant offense, again, lost. Eli looks lost. The new offense looks like a mess. This could be a very, very long season for Tom Coughlin and Eli Manning. I just don't think it's going to happen. I looked at the Giants' schedule. It is murder, especially, you know, down the road. They have some really, really tough games. I think they got San Francisco on the schedule, Seattle on the schedule. I mean, the Giants' schedule is really hard, and they are playing horrible football right now. They look lost. Eli looks lost. This is going on 2 years in a row now where the Giants look this way. So nice job by Arizona getting the road win. I'll tell you, a lot of people were down on Arizona coming into this year. Arizona looks like a nice team. They had a good record last year. They just were in the wrong division. But they look like a decent team. I don't know why everyone was so down on them. The Giants look flat out awful. All right, let's go to Minnesota, where the New England Patriots just blasted the Minnesota Vikings 30-7. I'll tell you, a lot of these early games yesterday were very one-sided. A lot of blowouts yesterday as far as the early games go. New England goes up to 1-1. Minnesota down to 1-1. Of course, no Peterson. He sat out this game. Minnesota, 4 turnovers. Castle, 4 interceptions. I mean, Minnesota was just awful. You had to figure New England was going to bounce back. They had a tough road loss to Miami last week. There was no way in the world New England was going to lose to Minnesota, especially with no Peterson. So I was not surprised at all by this game. So like I said, New England up to 1-1, Minnesota down to 1. We'll keep an eye on that Peterson situation. We'll see what the Vikings do with him. Let's go to Cleveland, the Dog Pound, one of my favorite stadiums in all of the NFL, where the Cleveland Browns pulled a shocker of the early games. They upset the New Orleans Saints 26-24. Cleveland up to 1-1. New Orleans down to 0-2. Cundiff, the field goal with no time left. What a nice comeback by the Cleveland Browns. 2 weeks in a row, the Browns had nice comebacks. They fell a little short in Pittsburgh. Had the nice come-from-behind win here. Great win by Cleveland. They showed a lot of enthusiasm in this game. Fans were tremendous, so nice job by Cleveland. Maybe Cleveland is heading in the right direction. New Orleans, you have to wake up, especially on the road. We know New Orleans is great in the Superdome. We all love Breeze. We all love that offense. They can't win a big road game, New Orleans. They are so shaky on the road. They play two different games, home and away. And I know a lot of teams are like that, but the Saints, there is such a contrast when they are home and away. They can do nothing wrong in that Superdome, and you get them on the road, they look like an average team. You have to beat Cleveland here. You had the tough loss last week in Atlanta when you blew that game, and you come back and you let this game slip away. Remember, the NFC is loaded this year. You can't afford to fall behind, by too many games. I mean, New Orleans is in a tough conference. Terrible loss by the Saints. Really nice job by the Cleveland Browns. I like what Cleveland's doing. They could be a little bit of a surprise this year. Now, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but they could be turning the corner. All right, let's go to Cincinnati, where the Cincinnati Bengals flexed their muscles and they beat the Atlanta Falcons 24-10. Bengals up to 2-0. Falcons down to 1-1. Bengals almost had 500 yards of offense, and A.J. Green got hurt and left in this game early, and they still had almost 500 yards of offense. Atlanta, 3 turnovers. Atlanta's another shaky team on the road. They're very good in their dome. They are very shaky on the road. Cincinnati is a very, very good team. They do a lot of things well. They just need to get over the hump into that elite category. They're close, though. Dalton's got to do it in a big spot. We know that. They have a lot of talent, Cincinnati. They have the receiver. We think Dalton's going to be the quarterback. They have a good defense, Cincinnati. They can do some things. Watch out for the Bengals. They are a very solid team. They get the win here. Let's go to Carolina, where the Carolina Panthers beat the Detroit Lions 24-7. Carolina up to 2-0. Detroit down to 1-1. Newton played. He was very good. Detroit, 3 turnovers, no running game. First of all, let me take it from the Carolina standpoint. Very nice job by Carolina. Like Arizona, a lot of people were down on Carolina this year, and I was like, why? They had such a nice year last year. I mean, I don't know why everyone was down on Carolina. They play good defense. They have a lot of nice pieces. I like Carolina's team. This was a good, solid win against a decent Detroit team. So I like what I see from Carolina early in the year. As far as Detroit, listen. It's no disgrace losing at Carolina, but you'd like to see Detroit be more in the game here, especially on the road. These are the type of performances that scare me about the Lions. They take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's the Lions. Once again, 3 turnovers. I don't like the Lions' running game. They got to pick up that running game. Didn't like the performance by Detroit yesterday. We see that way too often by them. And nice job by Carolina. They are 2-0. All right, let's go down to Tampa Bay, where the St. Louis Rams beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 19-17. Buccaneers down to 0-2. Rams up to 1-1. Zerline the field goal late. St. Louis was playing their 3rd-string quarterback. They still win the game. I'll tell you, a lot of people were high on Tampa Bay. I mean, I don't know why. Tampa Bay looks lost. I don't know about McCown at quarterback. I mean, I don't know if I want to start him. I mean, we may have to look at the backup. McCown, he looks shaky at best. Tampa Bay can't move the ball from here to there. Tampa Bay was actually going down the field on a last-second drive, and what happens? They get the ball down to the St. Louis 40 with about 9 seconds left, but they have no timeouts left, and one of their players gets hurt. So what happens when a player is hurt, can't get off the field, you have no timeouts left? 10-second runoff. The game ends right there, then and there. How would you like to lose that way? Tampa Bay, awful loss. After St. Louis got blasted last week at home to the Vikings, Tampa Bay can't take care of business here. St. Louis is down to their 3rd-string quarterback. Long's out for 8 weeks, and Tampa, you can't beat St. Louis. Terrible loss by Tampa. They look atrocious. Hey, I don't think much of St. Louis, but nice job bouncing back and getting the road win. Let's go to San Diego, where the San Diego Chargers have a really nice win. They beat the Seattle Seahawks 30-21. San Diego up to 1-1. Seattle down to 1-1. Hey, we know San Diego's got a lot of talent. They can play with everyone. I thought Rivers was very good yesterday throwing the ball at Gates. San Diego's defense did some things. I like San Diego's team, but they're another one of these teams. One step forward, two steps back. They got to be more consistent. But I do like their team. They can play with anyone. Hey, let's give Seattle a break. It's the first time they lost in like a year. I mean, we know they're not going to go undefeated. They're still the best team in football. Let's give them a break here. Both teams 1-1. All right, let's go to Oakland. Oh, my goodness. The Oakland Raiders. The Houston Texans just plastered the Oakland Raiders in Oakland 30-14. Houston up to 2-0. They matched their win total from a year ago. Raiders down to 0-2. Here we go again. 4 turnovers. They're basically throwing Carr to the Wolves. Carr doesn't have much to work with. Raiders look like they are in for another very, very long season. Remember when the Raiders were such a proud franchise? What's going on? Year after year, you have to struggle and see this mess of a team. Houston just laid it on them. This game was never close. I think Houston is very improved this year. They can do some things on defense. Houston's going to be a lot better than they were last year. Raiders, hey, long year. You hope Carr develops. You just hate to see them throw Carr to the Wolves here. I mean, he doesn't have much to work with. I mean, so you worry about that. Hopefully Carr develops into a good quarterback. Houston gets the win. Let's go to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, where the Green Bay Packers come back and beat the New York Jets 31-24. Green Bay up to 1-1. Jets down to 1-1. Jets are up 21-3 in this game. What happened? If you are a Jet fan, you must be sick. You're up to 21-3. You've got to win this game. I know it's Green Bay. I know it's Lambeau Field. I know it's Rodgers. You're up 21-3. Find a way to win the game. Instead, Green Bay comes all the way back. They take the lead. I mean, they win the game. Green Bay's up, by the way, 31-24 in this game, which was the final. Jets actually tied the game, but what happened? One of the assistant coaches for the Jets called timeout, and the referee acknowledged it, called timeout before the play happened, took the touchdown away from the Jets. Now, as you know, only the head coach can call timeout, but the referee thought the assistant of the Jets was the head coach. He's hearing, timeout, timeout behind him. He thinks it's Rex Ryan. He grants him the timeout. Sure enough, the Jets run the play. They throw a bomb in the end zone to tie up the game, but they take it away, and the Jets don't end up scoring or tying the game. Green Bay wins from there, so what a collection of errors by the Jets. Jets are up 21-3. Can they please hold on to the lead? Bad loss by the Jets. Nice come from behind win by Green Bay. They couldn't afford to go 0-2. All right, let's go to Denver, where the Denver Broncos beat the Kansas City Chiefs 24-17. Denver up to 2-0. Chiefs down to 0-2. Chiefs are down near the goal line at the end of the game, and Denver makes a big goal line stand. Didn't love the play calling by Kansas City down there. I'll tell you, Kansas City really competed in this game. They really tried hard. They fell a little short. Wasn't impressed with Denver yesterday. Wasn't your typical Denver Bronco game at home where they put up, 49 points and they're scoring left and right. Not impressed with Denver's win yesterday. By the way, Denver at Seattle next week, and Seattle's coming off a loss. Remember what happened in the Super Bowl, by the way. So Denver gets the win. Kansas City was better than they were last week, but they are still 0-2. Let's go to the Sunday night game. What a shocker this was, where the Chicago Bears beat the San Francisco 49ers 28-20. Niners down to 1-1. Bears up to 1-1. This was a shocking turn of events. The Niners are opening up a new stadium last night. They're up 17-0. They're up 20-7, and they absolutely fall apart. Kaepernick starts throwing interceptions left and right. Niners have 4 turnovers. All of a sudden, Cutler gets hot. He's hitting Marshall. Marshall with a great one-handed catch. And the Bears have a gritty road win. What a tremendous win by the Bears. They were looking at 0-2, and they come back on the road and beat the Niners. Really, really nice win by the Bears. You look back at their season at the end of the year, this could be a big turning point. Terrible loss by San Francisco. You had a chance to get in front of Seattle in the division. Remember, those two are going to be battling all year for home field. can't afford to blow a 17-0 lead in your building. And then they're up 20-7. They blow that lead. And here's another thing. The Niners were up 17-7, and they got really conservative, inside the Bears' 10-yard line. They ran 3 running plays right up the middle, settled for the field goal. I'm like, why are they settling for a field goal here to go up 20-7? You want to get in the end zone there, a little more creative play calling. You're not going to plow into the end zone from 6 yards away on 3rd down. So they got conservative, cost them. Bears come flying back. Really nice win by the Bears. Terrible loss by the Niners. We'll also keep an eye on Tillman for the Bears. He left the game, re-injured his triceps. Remember, he missed a lot of last year with the tricep injury. Could be the same thing this year. I hope Tillman is back on the field soon. Would like to see him back. I would hate to see if he's out for the year again, but a great win by the Chicago Bears. San Francisco, awful loss. And of course, the Thursday night game in Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 26-6. Baltimore up to 1-1. Pittsburgh down to 1-1. I'll tell you, this looked like your typical Baltimore-Pittsburgh game in the third quarter. It was 10-6 Baltimore. You're thinking, all right, it's going to be one of these games again. And then Baltimore just bombed Pittsburgh the rest of the way. Flacco was good. The Baltimore defense has been very good. They've only given up 1 touchdown in the first 2 games, so that's very good. Pittsburgh, 3 turnovers. They got no sacks. Pittsburgh has gotten no turnovers in 2 games. The Steelers' rushing defense is horrible. Another 9 penalties for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, all sorts of issues. I mean, if you don't take the ball away and you don't get to the quarterback, you're in for a long year. Then throw in the fact that you're turning the ball over and you can't stop the other team's rushing ability. Steelers with all these penalties. I thought the Steelers played a miserable game. In this day and age, you can't get the ball in the end zone. Now, the Steelers now have not scored a touchdown in 6 straight quarters. Don't like what I see at all from Pittsburgh. I know it's early in the year, but very bad signs for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Baltimore may be better than we think. Their defense may be better than we think. So nice job by the Ravens there. And of course tonight you have the Monday Night Football game, a good one. Philadelphia at Indianapolis. Okay, that was your NFL. As far as the college football, listen, it wasn't a great week in college football. A lot of big teams were pounding little teams. I mean, Oregon, Alabama, Baylor, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, LSU, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Stanford, Arizona State, Missouri, Ohio State, all bombed their opponents. These games were unwatchable. They were not close. Virginia beat Louisville. I guess that was a small upset. Not that Louisville's a great team, but they were in the top 25. UCLA edged Texas. We'll keep an eye on UCLA's quarterback. He went out with an injury. The backup played pretty well, but UCLA is not going to go far with their backup quarterback. South Carolina had a nice win against Georgia. I had a feeling this game was going to be close. South Carolina wins 38-35. I'll tell you, Georgia missed a field goal at the end. Their defense is bad. Same old story with Georgia. They always have one of these bad performances on the road every year. Their defense doesn't come to play in some of these games. Not a good loss by Georgia at all. I mean, Texas A&M plastered South Carolina. I know South Carolina is home. They were desperate. But if you're Georgia and you think you're a big-time team, you got to win this game. And I had a feeling they were going to pull a performance like this, and they most certainly did. Georgia's defense, not good at all. Nice win by South Carolina. They had to have it. Very poor performance by Georgia. Missed a chip shot field goal at the end of this game to tie it. Just awful. And the big shocking upset of college football, Boston College beat USC 37-31. USC had just beaten Stanford. What in the world happened here? USC is up 17-6 in the second quarter and just absolutely fell apart. Boston College had 507 total yards, 452 yards rushing. Let me say it again. 452 yards rushing for Boston College. Who's in the backfield? Jim Brown? 452 yards rushing. What is USC doing? Did they show up for this game? Did they get off the plane? Were they back in Los Angeles? How do you give up 452 yards rushing to Boston College? That's like 4 or 5 games worth. I mean, what an awful loss by USC. Nice job by Boston College. I did not see this coming, but so nice job by Boston College. USC, awful. Overall, not a great week in college football. Like I said, College Game Day was in Fargo, North Dakota to cover North Dakota State just bombed some little school like 60-0. So it was an awful week in college football. All right, as far as the boxing over the weekend, listen, no surprise. I mean, no surprise to me at all. Mayweather beats Maidana, an easier decision in the first fight. I saw this coming a mile away. I mean, I hope you guys didn't pluck down your $75 for this fight. It was not exciting at all. It was just what we thought. Mayweather gets the job done. I mean, no surprise, an easier decision in the first fight. Now they're talking about Mayweather-Khan. No one wants to see Khan. No one wants to see him. He's not a good fighter. I keep calling for Mayweather-Pacquiao. It's not going to happen, so we're going to be stuck with Mayweather-Khan. Khan is not a good fighter. Mayweather will win that fight very easily. So Mayweather continues to win as he beats Maidana. As far as your Major League Baseball, as far as the divisions, American League, Baltimore, Detroit, and LA still leading their divisions. Baltimore and LA are going to win their division. Detroit a game and a half up on Kansas City for the division right now. Remember, Davis suspended for Baltimore. He's going to miss the rest of the regular season and some playoff time. As far as the American League wild card, Oakland right now has the top wild card spot. They beat Seattle 2 out of 3. Nice job by Oakland. Kansas City is in the second spot. Remember, Kansas City can make the playoffs two ways. They're a game and a half behind Detroit for the division. They're right there for the wild card. They have the second wild card spot right now. Seattle only a game back. Toronto and the Yankees 4 out. Cleveland 5 out. That's your American League. As far as the National League, Washington, St. Louis, and the Dodgers all look in good shape for the division. Dodgers took 2 out of 3 from San Francisco over the weekend, including that ridiculous, 17-0 game they beat San Francisco. Keep an eye on the Dodgers pitcher Ryu, though. He came out with an injury. Keep an eye on that. That would be a big loss if they lost him. Looks like he's going to miss a couple of starts. As far as the wild card in the National League, San Francisco in good shape for the first wild card spot. Pittsburgh is your second wild card spot. Milwaukee a game and a half back. Atlanta starting to slide 4 games back. They got swept by Texas of all teams. So Atlanta starting to slide. It looks like it's going to be a race between Pittsburgh and Milwaukee for that last spot. That's where you are in your Major League Baseball. We're coming down the home stretch of Major League Baseball. Teams got to do it now. And as far as your World Cup of Basketball, the United States wins the gold medal. They plaster Serbia in the gold medal game, 129-92. This game was a blowout. Irving was on absolute fire yesterday. Couldn't miss. He wins the MVP of the tournament. It was shocking to me that Spain lost to France, in one of the earlier rounds, and Spain did not even medal. United States gets the gold, Serbia the silver, and France got the bronze. They beat Lithuania for the bronze game. I cannot believe Spain did not medal. These games were being held in Spain. How does Spain not medal here? Terrible job by Spain. Great job by the United States. I mean, the United States becomes the first nation to win 4 major tournaments in a row. Back-to-back Olympic champions, back-to-back world championships of basketball. What a great job by Mike Krzyzewski. I was happy to see they gave Mike Krzyzewski a medal. Remember, they don't give the coaches medals at the Olympics. They do give the coaches medals here. I'd like to see him give the assistants medals, too, like Boeheim and Thibodeau and all those great assistants on the bench. Come on, give out the medals. I mean, come on, you can afford a couple more medals, can't you? So I was very happy with the United States performance. They just laid it on everyone they played. And this is not even the United States A-team. Imagine if they had their A-team, what they'd be doing. Also, give credit to the guys that actually played in this tournament. I mean, give them credit. They didn't take the summer off. They came out to play here. The United States had a lot of injuries, a lot of defections. A lot of guys didn't want to play. Give the guys that played credit for playing in this tournament. They really represented the United States very well. I was really proud of their performance. Remember, the United States, a while ago was just really, really bad in these World Championships. They've really turned it around under Krzyzewski and Colangelo. Give credit to the United States and give credit to the players that actually played in this tournament. So the United States wins the gold there. Okay, you guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. Tonight we got the big Monday Night Football game, Philadelphia at Indy. Very intriguing game. I'm going to go with Indianapolis at home. I think they're going to win this game, although I don't like that Mathis is out for the year. I think Luck and company, a little too much for that Eagle defense at home. Should be a nice game. Of course, you got your pennant races in Major League Baseball as well. Tomorrow, we're going to get right to it. NFL picks. I already got the spreads, already going through the games. NFL picks tomorrow. Wednesday, college picks. I think this college football weekend will be slightly better than last weekend. Couldn't get any worse. And we'll do everything else that comes up in the sports world as well. The Ryder Cup coming up in a couple weeks. So I will be back with you guys tomorrow. NFL picks. We'll recap the Monday Night Football game. You guys enjoy the games tonight. Stay safe. Talk to you soon. Take care.